Good morning and welcome to Our Town here on Hometown Radio 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. I'm Ken Connors. It's been an active year in the city of Marinette. Marinette Mayor Denise Ruleau is in studio this morning. She's going to give us a thorough look at the latest developments within Marinette through her State of the City address. So without further ado, Marinette Mayor Denise Ruleau, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Ken, and thank you for inviting me to be here.
Oh, absolutely. I guess we can just hop right to it. Your State of the City address.
All right, thank you. As I come to the end of my third and final year as mayor of the city of Marinette, I want to thank the citizens of this fine community for giving me the honor to serve as your mayor. We have a wonderful city with hardworking, decent citizens and professional, competent leadership. Once again, I want to thank our team of professional department heads, supervisors, and employees. I also appreciate the dedication and support of all the elected and appointed officials on our Common Council, Water and Wastewater Utility Commissions, and numerous committees and commissions. With their help, we have accomplished a great deal. Since my last State of the City address, many great things have happened in the city of Marinette. I am most proud of finally being able to report that contamination has now been removed from Minneconne Harbor through an environmental dredging project that has also significantly increased water depths in the harbor and replaced failing seawalls. The City of Marinette received a $5.1 million grant from the EPA in addition to a $1.1 million grant previously received from the Wisconsin DNR in order to dredge the contamination from Minneconne Harbor, replace the failing seawalls around the harbor with new riprap, and conduct habitat restoration activities to remove invasive Phragmites and help bring fish and native plantings back to Minneconne Harbor. I hope that all of our residents have had a chance to take a look at these improvements as the dredging and seawall replacement phase of the project is complete and the harbor looks beautiful. New navigational depths in Minneconne Harbor have gone to 10 feet, which should enhance recreational boating opportunities in Minneconne Harbor for small and large boats. The habitat restoration phase of the project will begin in spring of 2015. That'll be shortly, hopefully. I am so proud that after many years of trying, we were finally able to restore this magnificent, historic Minneconne Harbor. This environmental cleanup of Minneconne Harbor, in conjunction with previous cleanup of coal tar by Wisconsin Public Service from the Boom Landing area and the arsenic cleanup by Tyco in the Turning Basin at South Channel, means the Menominee River is close to being delisted by the DNR and EPA as an area of concern. I am pleased that our efforts in the city of Marinette, along with the financial commitments from Wisconsin Public Service and Tyco, and with the assistance of grant funding from the EPA and Wisconsin DNR, are helping to reach that important goal. The City of Marinette also received a grant from the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation of up to $150,000 for site assessment activities at the former Jositis distributing property recently acquired by the City of Marinette. This generous grant was personally announced by Lieutenant Governor Clayfish on November 20th, 2014 at the former Jositis property here in Marinette. The city is also applying for additional grants in order to accomplish this goal of the Minneconne Harbor Master Plan. As you know, the 6th Street slip boat launch had water depths that were so low that the boat launch was basically unusable. The city allowed Tyco to utilize that boat launch for its environmental cleanup project. Now Tyco is making enhancements to the boat launch ramp, and in the area of the boat launch, the water level will be 7 to 22 feet deep. These improvements will allow more recreational boating opportunities for our citizens.
All right, Marinette Mayor Denise Ruleau just getting started with her State of the City address here, talking a lot about the Minneconne Harbor improvements that are going on and will continue to go on here in Marinette. Going to talk more with Mayor Ruleau. She's going to finish off her State of the City address when we come back here on Our Town. You're listening to Hometown Radio, 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. Stick around. Welcome back to Our Town. I'm Ken Connors, joined today by Marinette Mayor Denise Ruleau. Mayor Ruleau, in the midst of her State of the City address here, about halfway through it or so. Mayor Ruleau, we can pick it up where we left off.
Thank you, Ken. The City of Marinette has now completed the reconstruction of Mann Street, Eli Street, Stanton Street, from Main Street to the Tyco facility, and Main and Wells Street from Wells Street to Shore Drive, all with the help of an $812,000 T grant, a $2,277,350 EDA grant, and a $500,000 CDBG grant. These grants also resulted in an upgrade of the railroad tracks into the Marinette Marine facility. This will help preserve these new roads by allowing Marinette Marine to bring a great deal of goods and supplies into their facility by rail, rather than through heavy truck traffic. We believe the improvement to this infrastructure was critical to our large employers such as Marinette Marine, Ansel Tyco, and Chem Design. In addition, this section of downtown has an improved look with new concrete roads, bike accommodations, lighting, and upgraded underground utilities. This year, the city successfully completed the reconstruction of James, Todd, Paul, Florence, and Richard Streets, as well as Waleski Road from Pine Tree Road to Stearns Drive. In addition, the City of Marinette continues to make improvements to its infrastructure. In 2015, the city will be reconstructing Logan Avenue from Stanton Street to Shore Drive, Wells Street from Parnell Street to Daggett Street, Stanton Street from Main Street to Kearney Boulevard, Oddfellow Street from Merriman Street to Kearney Boulevard, Mary Street from Industrial Parkway to Armstrong Street, and Newberry Avenue from Pierce Avenue to Wells Street. In 2016, the deck of the Hattie Street Bridge will be reconstructed with a total project cost of $3,150,000 with the help of federal allocations from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation and the Michigan Department of Transportation. This grant funding will be divided between the City of Marinette and the City of Menominee, Michigan. In 2018, Riverside Avenue will be reconstructed with the $2,430,000 allocation of federal funds. The City of Marinette Fire Department received a total of $170,325, $157,385 in equipment grants, and $12,940 in training grants in 2014. These help to ensure that we have a first-class, full-time fire department ready to respond to any emergency. The City of Marinette has an excellent police department who again received their annual OWI Task Force grant and deer abatement grant in 2014. The state of the City of Marinette remains strong. Our city continues to balance its budget each year and maintains a very high bond rating of A1. Accordingly, at the city's last bond rating, Moody's Investors Services stated, "We accept the city's financial profile will remain sound due to the presence of healthy general fund reserves and a history of balanced operations." I have truly enjoyed being the mayor of the City of Marinette. As your mayor, I have had the privilege of meeting with prominent officials such as Governor Scott Walker and Lieutenant Governor Clayfish and others. But on an everyday basis, I also was able to meet with many of our city residents who I never had the pleasure of meeting with before. Oftentimes, these people would say kind words of encouragement to me and wish me well. I love the City of Marinette, and I do believe the progress we have made will continue. My best wishes and warm regards to all of you fine citizens of the great city of Marinette, Wisconsin. Thank you, Mayor Denise Ruleau.
That's Marinette Mayor Denise Ruleau wrapping up her annual State of the City address. Stay tuned to Our Town here on Hometown Radio, 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. I'm going to come back and talk more with Mayor Ruleau here on today's show. Maybe get a little bit further into that State of the City address and just sort of talk with Mayor Ruleau as she wraps up her final month here, basically, in office as the mayor of the city of Marinette. Stick around. Welcome back to Our Town. I'm Ken Connors. I'm joined by Marinette Mayor Denise Ruleau. She just gave her last State of the City address here. Mayor Ruleau, been in office for 3 years, of course. Your Honor, of course, you've been at City Hall, though, much longer than 3 years.
Yes, I have. I started with Marinette City Hall in 1995 in the Community Development Office, doing housing projects for the city of Marinette, the shared ride taxi program, facade improvement program, and there are many others. I did that for 17 years. At the end of 5 years, I became part of the mayor's office. So that's where I was when I decided to run for mayor, working in the mayor's office and doing community development both.
So I got to ask you, what do you think you're going to miss the most after all that time at City Hall, especially your time as mayor?
I'm really going to miss the people at City Hall, the citizens who stop in my office, the committees, boards, and commissions, all the people that I work with on a daily basis. Of course, the department heads. Just the people have been awesome. This has been such a wonderful opportunity. I'm very happy I had this chance, and that the citizens of Marinette put their faith in me to do this job. I've really enjoyed it.
How about your term as mayor, the past 3 years? Like you said in the State of the City speech, there's a lot of great things going on in Marinette. What are some of the accomplishments that maybe stick out to you, though, over these past 3 years?
I believe the harbor, Mini County Harbor, that I talked about at length, is of great interest to many of the people in Marinette, because it will be a place that everyone will be able to share, a place that they can go and be proud of. It's taken a long time. This has been going on for about 30 years. I'm happy that I was in the mayor's seat in order to watch a lot of this come to fruition. So that's, I think, a really good thing for the citizens of Marinette. The water utility, of course, not something everybody wants to talk about, but I believe that I really was instrumental between myself, the new commissioners. There have been a lot of people involved in that effort, and I think that it's moving forward. There was just a public hearing on Tuesday evening, was pretty well attended, and people got to ask their questions of the Public Service Commission. I know it's not something that any of us are happy about, but we have to just move forward, and I believe the utility is on the right track. There are new people there managing. They have a good board of commissioners, and I believe that will move forward. There's so many things on a daily basis that happen, just like even when we go to council meetings, the council votes on things, and it's like maybe a 10, 15-minute conversation, and it gets voted on, and you sit there and you think, oh gosh, we've spent hours and days and months on this particular topic, and then it's done with. So there's always so much more to every project that goes on at the city than anybody ever knows. The hours and just all the time that is spent.
I can appreciate that. Covering all those council meetings, we hear a little bit about it, get a nice little synopsis of what this all entails, and then a vote's taken, and a lot of times it moves forward. But all the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on between you and I'm sure just everybody else there at City Hall, it's rather amazing. Can you give me a little idea of what a day in the life of the mayor is like?
Oh, goodness. Well, I can tell you the last couple of days even, we had a special council meeting. We have a couple of people who are retiring, and I'm doing the interview for the position. So my last couple of days have been doing 3 and 4 interviews a day with persons for the assessor's office. then special council meetings, Board of Public Works, public safety last night. My last public hearing with the water utility, the last couple of days have easily been 12 and 14-hour days. Of course, that's not the norm, but typically any council day, whether it's special council or the regular council meeting, is always a 12 or 14-hour day. But they're good meetings that need to be held, and they're good opportunities for the community to come and see what goes on in City Hall. I know we have some issues with our council chambers as far as people being able to hear everything that's going on, and we have worked on that some, and we obviously need some more work. But every day there's, people coming in that maybe who are expected, maybe who are not. And I do try to meet with everyone who comes to my office and would like to see me if I'm available. I've always had an open door policy. I instruct my assistant to, just take, if somebody comes to see me and I'm not available, take their name and number or set up an appointment. She always has access to my calendar, knows where I am. But some days you come in, you have a full calendar and you don't do any of those things other than meetings. And other days you walk in, you think, oh, gee, it doesn't look like I have a really busy day. And you just never know what is going to come up other than the standard meetings that you have monthly.
It sounds like you're excited about the days serving as mayor.
Yeah, I have truly loved my time at City Hall, the years before I was mayor and the time as mayor. I'm very thankful I had the opportunity to do this for the last 3 years. I've done my best, and I've always tried to research anything that anyone has asked me to do on their part and get back to them with an answer. I've always prided myself on returning my phone calls, and I tried not to ever leave anybody hanging without getting a response to them in one way or another.
So looking forward, what do you think Marinette's next mayor and, of course, the little bit different city council is going to have to think about? Any outstanding issues out there in your mind?
Sure, there will always be outstanding issues as one mayor goes out and another comes in. There will be the ongoing of the Manicani Harbor. We have some TIF projects that are ongoing, such as with Tyco. Right now, that one kind of stands out in my mind because we just redid some things with them. There's going to be changes as people retire, which I think most of that's going to happen during my term. But there's always, the water utility, you need to keep a handle on that, make sure that continues in the direction it's going right now. As I said earlier, the people who are there are doing a great job of moving things forward, getting things cleaned up, but it still needs to be watched, I guess, for lack of a better word. There's always day-to-day things that come up. The Hattie Street Bridge decking will come up in the next year. That's going to take a lot of time, especially when you're coordinating 2 states to do that project. There's always issues when there's road construction, and there's a lot of road construction, so there's always some unhappy people with that. So there's always the day-to-day things as well as the annual and monthly. So there'll always be projects.
All right, Denise. So what does the future hold for you when you're not mayor?
It's going to be strange not working because I've worked a long, long time. I started babysitting when I was 12, so on a regular basis. So I've been working a long time. It's sort of a bittersweet time for me in that I really love what I do and the people. So it's going to be different. I'm sure that the first week or so I'm going to feel like I'm on vacation, but thinking about moving into the to the country and enjoy kayaking and bike riding, camping and things like that. So, and traveling. So intend to do some of those things and stay in touch with the friends that I've made at at the city as well.
Very nice. Of course, your term is going to end here coming up in April, it is. And we've got the election coming up April 7th.
Right.
And that's going to be a big one, obviously.
Yes.
Folks are voting for their next mayor.
Yes, they are. So I encourage everyone to vote on April 7th. The city council meeting has been moved to the day after, April 8th, to allow for, well, I won't say allow for, the election's going to take place no matter what we do, but we always change our council meeting to the day after so that we're not interfering with election activities and so forth. It'll be a vote for mayor, and a vote for 5th Ward alderperson will change. Wally Hitt is running unopposed, and then Dorothy Kowalski and Dennis Colburn are running unopposed as well. And then, of course, the 2 mayoral candidates are Alderperson Martha Carbon and Steve Janisot.
And as you mentioned, you've got your next regular city council meeting there, April 8th. But they're going to squeeze a few others out of you before you're finished up.
Or they are. Yes, we have a special meeting already next Wednesday, and then we may have another one, then the regular meeting, and then the annual adjourned meeting will be sometime between the April 8th council meeting and the end of my term, which would be April 20th, would be my last day.
April 20th, your last day.
And the new mayor takes over April 21st.
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming in here today, sharing your State of the City address with us. But really, just thank you always for taking the time to talk with us and passing along information to us that we can then move on to our listeners too as well. It's just always greatly appreciated.
Well, and thank you for always being so interested in what is going on in the city of Marinette as we are.
Oh, you're welcome. And just thank you for everything you've done too here. Great service to the city too.
Thank you.
Marinette Mayor Denise Ruleau just gave her State of the City address, and she is wrapping up her 3 years, her term here in office as the mayor of Marinette. I want to thank you for tuning into Our Town here today on Hometown Radio 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. Be sure to tune in again next week. I'll see you then.